Okay, so now that we've done day one, it's time to move on to day two. For day two, I do back and biceps. Again, I like to start with my favorite exercise first, and then we move on to the other exercises. The reason why is because I can lift as heavy as possible. So the next one is lat pull downs. So I guess the last day one, we did a lot of comparison between free weights and the pump max. Day two, there's a lot of pulling exercises, and there's a lot of things where, and pull exercises is actually where the pump max does excel. Because for example, chin-ups and stuff like that, we can only do it on chin-up bars, whereas this one, we can do pull-downs, lat pull-downs. Again, this is a very lightweight, I should have probably the weight, but we can do it like that. And we can hold at the bottom and slowly go up. Usually, I do 4 sets of these, again, 8 to 10 range, just to get as much weight as possible. I mean, if I can only do 6, depending on how much weight I'm pulling, then so be it. Now, again, keep in mind that this does only go up to 70 kg, so for much stronger people, this might not be enough for you to do lat pull downs. However, that might be where the bench comes into play, because I just see that you can have 2 pumps side by side, and at 140 kg, that should be enough for most of the population. However, obviously there are people stronger out there, but at least it would be more than enough for me. So we're on to the next exercise. So from that pull downs, we move on to the one arm rows. So I tend to alternate between one arm rows and close grip rows. I will show you this afterwards. I also put the leg press bar at the bottom because when I'm lifting heavy, I tend to slide forward. So what I usually do is I rest it up like this, just to hold it in place and hold me in place, and I can pull it back like this. Now, sometimes I rotate to give me more of an angle, just so I can stretch it out like that. So I don't slide forward, especially when I'm lifting heavier. Now, to show you what close grip rows look like, they look more like this with this unit. Now, again, you can see that it does slide quite a bit. I did not tighten the bolt all the way. I actually loosened a bit because when I was doing exercises, it was easier for me to be able to slide it left and right just for certain exercises. So close grip would look something like this. Again, this is very lightweight for demonstration purposes, just so I can talk as we're doing this, but it'll look something like this. So after I pass the first exercise of the day, these ones tend to be 3 sets for 8 to 12 reps. So after this, we're going to move on to the next exercise. So the next exercise we're going to do is wide seated rows. So I use my lap bar. Again, I brace my legs. Again, just be careful because mine does turn, but that's because of the way I set it up. And then we just pull backwards. I like this exercise because I like to feel a squeeze in the upper back. And also I like exercising my rear delts as well, because I don't really do too many exercises that actually target my rear delts. Now, I know you can do bent over rows with weights, but I do like this because I do have back problems, and using the pump max, it alleviates those problems versus just leaning forward and trying to pull the weights up and down like that. I know form does play a very important role, but if anything happens, if any mistakes happen, I feel like there will be less injuries using this pump max. Okay, so next we're going on to the next exercise. So the last exercise for the back would be the crossbody single arm lat pull down, I guess it's called. This is a new exercise for me. The reason why I put it in is because I really want to get that stretch from the lat. So the way this exercise works is you sit down and you really, across your body, obviously as the name suggests, you really get that stretch in the lat right here. So once you're ready to go, you just pull it down. And from here, you engage the lat, and then stretches out again. So something like this, I do 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Okay, and that last movement ends the back workout, and then we move on to biceps. So starting off with biceps, I usually do straight bicep curls, just like that. A lot of times I use a band just so I can get the outward rotation to work out the shoulders as well, and also the side of the bicep as well. However, this is where I'm not sure how the Pump Max would fit in. I wouldn't want to put both of them together and just start doing curls like this. I mean, we could do it like this, so if we have two, we could go outwards like that. However, I think at this point, this is where the board would come in for the Pump Max, where it mounts them to the floor, so you could just do straight curls like that. So I don't think this would be a good candidate for curls, but I do think the board would be an excellent candidate for curls. So I guess for the first exercise for biceps, I'll be doing straight bicep curls. Again, it'll be, since it's the first one, it will be 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps. Then we move on to the next one. Okay, so the next one we're doing is concentration curls. As you can see here, this is something where this Pump Max would be excellent at. So we can just sit here, brace our elbows, and we can go. So this would be close grip concentration curls. For something like this, I would do 3 sets of, again, 8 to 12 reps. And just really get that squeeze inside there. And that would end the concentration curls. And we'll move on to the next exercise. So the next exercise that I do is decline curls. Now, obviously I can do these curls with my free weights, but they are power blocks and the balance is extremely uneven. So I try to replace those with as much Pump Max exercise as possible, just so I can get that balance, because as close as I can to normal weights in the gym. So again, decline curls with something like this. When I was using the old Pump Pros, I would hook 2 of them up so I can pull it, but this one, since I only have one, again, you just have to imagine I have 2 of them and we pull up like this. Let it pull back to get that stretch and pull. I mean, you don't even need one, you can probably just do one-handed, but just like working both in just for time to get to power throughs as quickly as possible. So this one, since we're coming to the end, this would be 2 sets of about 8 to 12 reps. And then next we'll move on to the last exercise. So the final exercise I'm going to do for biceps and the last exercise for today would be the hammer curls. I use the rope to do them. And again, just straight back up, lift, and you hammer it out. And it's just, I just love using the rope. It just feels so comfortable, so easy. It's not as jerky as when I use free weights. And for this last one, again, it's 2 sets for 8 to 12 reps. And that would conclude day 2 of my exercises.